Hey, welcome to the Tim and Gugabe podcast. This is your host Tim, and how you doing today, Gugabe?
Yeah, not too bad. Just doing some tape on next week's fascinating card.
Yeah, I'm like a little like I've taped most of it just since there's so many dumpster fire fights with kind of regional fighters. I gotta still record some of that. Were we still recording? We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
We had a
cool.
brief visit from our friend Annabelle.
Oh, gotcha. Um, cool. So I do have a little more to go over for the card, but I feel like I can give some insight. But we can also just recap the UFC 250 card. But is shit starting to get back to normal in Australia? It's starting to kind of get back to normal here.
Yeah, looks like another one of the states is going to open up jiu-jitsu 1st July. Still waiting on over here, but yeah, restaurants are open. Nobody's rioting in the streets. I know in
Yeah,
Chicago that's normal, but still. Um,
I got out of Chicago. I'm back in Missouri now, and it's like I'm just staying at my parents because honestly, it's just the the riots are kind of they've calmed down a little bit, but it's still just kind of a shitty atmosphere I feel in the city. I just wanted to get out
yeah,
for
understandable.
like a week or so.
Yeah, going to
Yeah,
Missouri, St. Louis.
yeah. I'm in it's we're like an hour south of St. Louis, so kind of like in like the suburbs, rural areas. So it's like way nicer out here, just chilling.
Yep, sounds good.
But
Um,
let's go over UFC 250, and then we can get over to the best card of the year, Calvillo and I. But Herbert Burns and Dunham. I thought I didn't play this fight. I thought there was some value on Dunham pre-fight, but I was just kind of worried about his age, and I feel like we've seen that with like Cruz and Brown kind of recently, where you felt like there was value, but there's some question marks about the age. And I don't know. This is kind of just I don't know. He just got his back, choked him out, type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of whatever in my view. Like Dunham looked a bit slow. Burns still had the same striking defense issues, and the back take happened. Like I don't know. Again, like back take's gonna happen. I would like to see a bit more of that because I felt like even what we actually saw, it was fairly even going. And yeah, so yeah,
Yeah,
I think it
pretty
was
much.
hugely informative.
Yeah, like I just didn't have much to say. I felt like Dunham should have probably tried to ride top position. I feel like wrestlers are tough to guard sub and stuff like that. Where I don't know. Like I feel like he could have maybe floated on top a little bit and tried to just kind of let the fight play out a little more. Because then I feel like the back takes of Burns maybe wouldn't have been as explosive type of thing. Because Dunham, like, just historically has good cardio. Even at his age, I'm sure he could probably push a pace.
Yeah, I think he could probably push the Dunham pace he was pushing as long as he wanted to. It
Yeah.
was pretty relaxed. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, like back take when they're both still kind of nobody's very sweaty. Everybody's kind of still in the fight. Yeah, Burns is a world class jiu-jitsu guy, but like I'd be curious to see how it would have played out. We got a bit more time.
What's Burns' actual, like, jiu-jitsu credentials? Because
I think he's like legit world champs. Like he honestly world champ is a bit all over the place. So you got BJJ Heroes page. That's usually what I use to determine if it's legit
yeah,
or
that's
not.
why I always
He
go.
does have a BJJ Heroes page, so he's legit.
I want to actually, like, is he like a world? Because
Uh,
it's like, was he in the blue belt division and things like that?
Brazilian national no-gi champion 2011.
Yeah.
Pan no-gi third place IBJJF. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
So he's actually pretty good.
and some belt level no-gi stuff. So yeah, he's not like he's not being our brother, but he looks reasonable.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Yeah, I mean, subbing Dunham's still impressive, but it's still kind of like I just stuff I saw in the Minner fight, and I mean, he already has lost recently to kind of Russian wrestle boxers who aren't even that great, in PFL and things like that. So I don't know. I just feel like he's going to be overvalued, and at some point he's going to get beat up. I think, but I mean, we'll see. I gotta kind of square up the matches as I go. But Clark and Menefield, Clark, yeah, like it's funny, like I thought Menefield's skill level, just like with his grappling and defensive wrestling, was going to hold up, and it did. It's just he got really tired, and it still held up when he was tired. But Clark just kind of got that overhook, even with his back against the cage, and just didn't allow Menefield to break away.
Yeah, Clark put probably a lesser striking clinic on Menefield than Craig did, but didn't get as unlucky.
I think
after saying this, Paul Craig was a justified play.
Circle back to Craig outstriking Menefield every podcast. We could be talking about fucking, I don't know, Safarov or something, and we come back to that fight somehow.
After saying this fight, do you not agree that Paul Craig was going to cardio outbox Menefield if he didn't fall over on the spin kick?
Could have happened. Yeah, honestly, it could have happened.
He was like plus 250.
Yeah.
I say the Craig that went to a meme draw with Shogun, I think was justified.
Yeah, the only thing with Craig is because he relies with subs, I feel like Menefield's actually like decent as a grappler, just kind of like powering out of shit and stuff. So, but if Clark would have maybe pushed a striking pace, like, and the fight would have played out a little more, yeah, he could have won.
Craig, it was like 26 strikes to 4 when Menefield, like when Craig fell over.
True. Yeah.
Like, Craig was legitimately pulling a pace. Like, Craig, despite being an idiot who pulls guard for no reason, has actually developed some okay volume striking abilities, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's as bad as people claim. It's just I think he beat some people who are way better than, like, Ankalaev is so much better than Paul Craig, and just so I think maybe people look at that fight and just assume everyone's that much better than Paul Craig type of thing, and so yeah, I feel like maybe that's kind of the stigma he's gotten.
Yeah, like Ankalaev could legitimately be the best light heavyweight in the world. Like he's at least top 5.
He's up there at least. Yeah, like he might not be number one. He might have some volume issues at some point, but I mean, the fact that we're even considering it means he's really good.
Yeah, like I'm not saying he's like far and away, like definitely, but like if I'd place him in my top 5, and he's definitely in the conversation.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah. And it was light heavyweight. Nobody in the top of light heavyweight lacks issues.
Yeah, the thing is, he doesn't even have really any issues. It's just like more a little bit of volume. Like as far as like technical skill, I don't really think Ankalaev has many issues except getting triangled by Paul Craig for no reason.
You mean again? Sometimes you just get beaten by Paul Craig by triangle. It's just how things are. But circling back to Devin Clark, my kind of point on this was I played Clark for like a medium play. My kind of point on this, like Menefield probably were. It's just like Menefield kind of had a standard deviation between like a 4 out of 10 and like an 8 out of 10. And Devin Clark, love him or hate him, has kind of proven he's at least 6.5 out of 10. So if you give me like plus 200 almost to sort of discover where Menefield's at, I'm gonna take that.
No, yeah, that's a very good way to point it, to kind of like point it out. I feel it's yeah, I think Clark gets a little too much. Like I played Clark. Who did I think I played Clark for Stoke. I played, and I even parlayed against that Townsend guy because Townsend's literally one of the worst. Like he's kind of the Ryan McDonald of the light heavyweight division. He's not a good fighter. Like Dalcha put on a clinic on Townsend,
Yeah,
but
I'm like trying to think. Clark, he's not ever really been shut out by Yarn. Like, Rakic was a fairly competitive fight all in. Like, Clark could legitimately have knocked out Rakic if he just followed up slightly better. Like, it was a meme light heavyweight swing first, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, like Clark's not bad. I mean, if you don't knock him out, he's not going to be fun, and he's got cardio type of thing. But moving on to another fight, getting off topic a little bit, Perez and Formiga. Perez looked good. Like he looked really legit. I was kind of worried if he didn't put a pace on Formiga, but the leg kicks were pretty key. I saw that pre-tape that the leg kicks could maybe be an issue because he would throw them a lot in some other fights, but I didn't know if we would get the Jose Torres Perez or the De La Rosa one where he was a little more hesitant type of thing.
Yeah, agreed. Like, in the boxing and all that, I felt Formiga was getting out volume, but like competing. Then I don't think anybody would predict the 4-minute leg kick knockout in this one. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
leg kicks being a factor is one thing, but like a leg kick TKO, there's so few of them.
Yeah, I if you would have told me he would have gotten Formiga out of there, I wouldn't have been that surprised. Just because I mean he's capable, like he can hustle, and I Formiga has a little bit of durability issues. I feel nothing like crazy, but as far as like leg kick TKOs are kind of hard to call, you know.
Yeah, like, yeah, if you told me like Perez won the fight off his leg kicks and was like, yeah, it was like a competitive decision where Perez pulled ahead because of his leg kicking work, I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. But like, yeah, a first round leg kick TKO is a bit unusual. Yeah, Perez looked good. He's a functional fighter. I'd like to see him against Brandon Moreno, maybe, or even Pantoja.
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry, sorry, I think I cut out for a second, but yeah, like Perez against Moreno would be a legit fight.
like I think Perez probably has a bit more process, but he doesn't seem to have the same level of athleticism as some of the other guys around that level. But yeah, he seems pretty solid. All up.
For sure. And then yeah, Perez is legit, I feel. Patolo and Bird. I had a feeling like I feel like talking with you too. I felt like Patolo was getting a little too much shit for that Potter fight, and I think on my breakdown I picked Bird, but I put low confidence, and I just kind of mentioned that I did not like his line. I just felt like if he didn't get Patolo out of there like quick, there was just going to be some issues, you know.
Yeah, just kind of. Yeah, Patola dropped him. Bird kind of dominated the grappling for a bit, didn't he? Just going off memory. And then Bird just kind of got knocked out going in second round. Just low level middleweight shit fest, my opinion. But
Yeah, Patola just kind of survived, got back up, and he was just kind of there, type of thing. And Bird just kind of collapses. I just feel like if he's almost like Sarah McMahon. Like if he faces any adversity, he just kind of falls over, type of thing. You know?
yeah, I mean, he recovered from the sort of knockdown. Did he get hurt in the first round? And he got takedown off that from memory.
Yeah, yeah. And then he kind of like got some position for a little bit. But even after round one, I was kind of like I just kind of felt like Patola when they were standing, like, and I put this in my breakdown. I didn't think it was like a mismatch. I just thought the durability was like heavy advantage. But I just didn't expect Patola to like give up, type of thing. Where Bird, I felt like would just kind of, if he got hit a few times, would just kind of like cower over.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, honestly, probably rebound it 100 times. You probably still get a few bad sub one sort of performances, but yeah, Patolo just by existing in his direction, probably the side.
Yeah, for sure. And then what was the next fight? Stamen Kelleher.
I played Kelleher like medium here, just because I felt like Stamen's upside to be like a closest decision. Stamen looked bloody good, honestly. Still think he's got the same sort of ceiling from his lack of athleticism in a real A plus game. But yeah, Kelleher's I sort of expect him to be in it just on volume. Stamen looked good. I scored 29-28, but yeah, I'm not saying Kelleher would deserve the decision or anything, but I just felt he got the third round. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like closer, it just sort of show a solid striking volume decision.
Yeah, I kept him more in the minus 150 range, and I thought he looked legit. I was just kind of impressed with his like boxing defense, the way he would just kind of pivot off and avoid exchanges. And I've always been high on Stamen, you know. Um, and yeah, I kind of thought I was kind of surprised by like all three judges getting it 30-27.
Yeah, like I like Stamen too. Like my view of this was like, yeah, Stamen probably should be favourite, but like sort of saw it as a minus one, essentially similar to your sort of perspective. I just saw Kelleher plus 200 to talk about that.
Yeah,
Kelleher decision was like plus 700, so I was like, I just felt it would be a close decision.
yeah,
To be
for sure.
and yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Stamen improved a fair bit. His boxing looks good. It's coming along. I think he's still kind of got. I just think his athleticism will probably dictate his ceiling. Like I think he'll hang around sort of as top 10 gatekeeper for a while. Like I just can't really see many guys ahead of him. I'd take him over.
Yeah, I mean he'll he'll put up a tough fight versus I feel like most people, because even Aljo before the finish, he at least competed, and Aljo's fucking legit. But I also feel like his height is going to be kind of an issue. I just feel like with kind of some of those longer range strikers, it will be a little tough for him. But his grappling is kind of limited to just laying in guard type of thing. Where like he's got an incredible double leg. I mean his shots are incredible, but he just kind of like laying there, and so he's legit though. It's just that division of bantamweight is just a little better than him. Those top guys.
Yeah, that's kind of my view. Just bantamweight's probably the deepest division in the sport at this point, and I just can't see where Stamen really edges it out. Like he probably beat Asensau, or at least the Asensau we saw, but I think Asensau's on his way out anyway.
He's like a perfect like 7 to 11 guy. I feel at bantamweight, like he'll hang around that area definitely, just because he's got good cardio, he has good output, he's got some takedowns, but it's just over a guy like I don't know, like a guy like TJ Dillashaw or something. I just feel like he'll always have trouble in a fight like that.
Yeah, like as I said, it's just lack of an A+ game. Like, there's no point. Like Stamen's very well put together. Like everything's a B+. He's very functional. But there's just nothing about him which really just sort of screams at you, this guy is legit. Which can work in other weight classes, but like most of the bantamweights don't really have an obvious hole for him to exploit.
Yeah, he. I think like looking at the top guys, I feel like he could maybe beat like a Marlon Moraes, especially in a 5-rounder. By just probably putting on a pace. But then, yeah, some of the other guys, it's just going to be a tough matchup for him.
Like Asensau, maybe. I think Rivera is a better version of him. Moraes, I feel like Moraes would punish him early just because like the athleticism edge. Sartagan, possibly.
I guess he could maybe beat some guy. I mean, I would probably take him over Asensau. Honestly, like this is not going to be a popular opinion. I would take him over Garbrandt. I just think he would just land more, and I don't know. Like Garbrandt could win that fight, but I feel like Stamen would be a live dog, and I'm just not as high on Garbrandt, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, it's just like the Aljos, the Jans, things like that. I don't know.
I feel like Stamen Garbrandt might just end up being like Stamen's probably the minute winner, but I could just see him having issues with Garbrandt that started to bite the mouthpiece.
Yeah, for sure. Like he would definitely be the minute winner though, but yeah, he's got some good matchups. I mean, I guess maybe he'll fare a little better than I thought looking at the ranking, because in 5-rounders, I think he can beat some of these guys. But I don't know. Moving on.
Getting a 5-rounder.
Yeah, he's not going to. Moving on to Heinisch Mearshart. I mean, this is just pretty meme KO, I feel, but happy for Heinisch.
Yeah, I personally liked your Mearshart a lot, so I was sad. But yeah, shit happens. Like, hopefully we can get back on the Heinisch fade train next fight at a decent price.
Yeah, I didn't play this fight. It was just I just felt like it was just kind of a random KO type of thing. Like the first minute played out with not much happening, and then I don't know, he just landed a big shot.
Yeah, like I had some Mearshart like plus 130 pretty early, but it all got voided by the temporary cancellation, and I just didn't get back on. So thanks to the temporary cancellation.
Yeah, I guess that helped you out a little bit.
Like I got plus 130. It was like plus 110 by the time that they re-put the lines back up, and I was like, I wasn't really feeling it that hard to begin with.
Yeah. Caceres Hooper. Yeah, I've written in my breakdown. I was just kind of like, I didn't like some of Hooper's like submission applications and like his like choke applications on the regionals, and I was like, I don't even know if he'll sub Caceres if he gets on the mat type of thing. But it worried me about Caceres is that he just always kind of ends up on his back. Like, I mean, like 7 of his last 8 fights, I was a little worried there. But yeah, I don't know. Hooper's takedowns are super unproven too, type of thing. And I was just like, I just felt like it was a clear stay away. And we didn't really know where Hooper was at, because taking down guys on the regionals is not the same. And like pulling guards as like even just kind of the lower class of the UFC.
I entered at about. I had a feeling Caceres would just balloon in price at the end, so I got on for about 2.5 units at plus 185ish.
Yeah.
a lot of Alex Caceres actually showed reasonable fight IQ this time around.
Yeah.
Like, he seemed to act like there with Alex Caceres, there was also always a possibility that he would just start the fight by shooting a double leg on KHA Super and spend 15 minutes hanging out on his guard for no reason.
Even not going for the kill, like I feel like people may have thought that was dumb, like not going for the kill in the first round, but I actually thought it was smart because I feel like in that situation early, you could kind of just set yourself up to maybe getting reversed. Trying to jump on Caceres or jump on Hooper or something. So I thought it showed good patience too.
Yeah, I had a little Caceres had KO at like plus 700, so I wasn't the biggest fan of that. But no, well, I've had enough on the money line.
Yeah,
like that was kind of my original view, which is Caceres KO was like plus 600, plus 700, and I was like, Hooper has literally no striking defense.
Yeah. Moving on to O'Malley Wineland. I'm a little higher on O'Malley than you. But I don't know. O'Malley, I feel like I just think he's good. Like a lot of people are kind of hesitant to crown him as the next big thing. And I don't even know if he's going to be a champion one day. I have no idea. I just think striking volume and speed and just like length and using kicks is, especially like in a striking fight whenever he's going against a 36-year-old. I just thought he was probably going to be okay here, but I can understand like the argument people made for Wineland though, because Wineland is like a tough out in general on striking fights.
Yeah, my view was just if you watch Mally Kashkayan or Mally Ware, there's just like Mally's pocket defense doesn't seem that great. He slows down a fair bit. Yeah, I think there's holes there, but explosive, high volatility striker got the 2-minute knockout, so we didn't really get a chance to see whether he's fixed those holes.
Yeah.
I don't have any shame in playing I played plus 450 and plus 900 on the KO for Wineland about 2 units.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take the shot at seeing if it's a hype train or not, because it's a huge dog prize, and clearly the Mally prize wasn't being driven by only sober-minded tape students.
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's definitely some hype with him. I just think he's kind of one of those hype trains that, like, statistically turned out to be good. Like, you'll see some hype trains who I'm just kind of like, no, like, I don't see it type of thing. Kind of like Roosevelt Roberts going into the Pischel fight. I was like, this price is kind of insane. But I feel like at least O'Malley, you can point to something like in because the stats do back up that he's probably pretty good, but I understand when you go up in competition, shit can change, but yeah, we'll see. Like, there's some good matchups for him in the division. I'm kind of like excited.
Yeah, true. Probably I don't think I'll probably be betting on him anytime soon, just because of the sort of prices he's commanding. But yeah, he could be legit. I'm not saying he's not. It's just at that sort of price, it's like, are you really proven enough to be minus 600 against Wineland?
Yeah, I hear you. Would you take him at evens over Garbrandt?
They're both kind of memes.
See, I would. Like, I would actually, I would confidently go over him because I feel like because if you look at his stats, he lands accurately, he puts up a ton of strikes, and I just feel like if Garbrandt doesn't KO him, it's like, is Garbrandt really going to win a decision against him, especially in like a 5-rounder? And I just think Cody struggles with kicks too. Like, we saw that in the Dillashaw fight. And there's like a huge length and height advantage, and I feel like pretty strongly O'Malley would beat Garbrandt, and I know people are probably going to disagree with that and kind of just talk about competition and stuff. But if you just like think about it, do you really think Garbrandt would win if he didn't land a KO? And I kind of just trust O'Malley to survive, type of thing. I don't know. Maybe he turns out to have like a terrible chin, but he seems pretty tough too. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
He's tough. That Cash Khan fight's always been kind of concerning for me. It's just Mally kind of made the win in that one, in my opinion. At least, Cash Khan was kind of getting in his face. Pocket defense was an issue. He was hitting him pretty square.
Are you talking about the
Um,
Contender Series fight?
yes.
Yeah, I mean that was a long time ago though. Yeah, but I
2.5
I
years. He's been training since he was like 10.
when when was that
About
fight?
two and a
Are
half
you
years.
talking about Kasakian? Is it your or
Yeah, Cash Khan or whatever you pronounce it. That
three,
was
3 years ago?
2017.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 3 years ago. Yeah. So yeah.
Also,
I mean,
just this is just my view on prospects. Like, a lot of time people always assume because someone's young, but like Malley's just based on what I've read about him, been training since he was like 10 or something like that.
yeah.
So I think A, the technical thing's probably not going to switch up that much, and B, just if you fight like Malley, there's not that much room to really nudge yourself back towards orthodoxy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just because he's so far out and he's training in such a weird place and that sort of stuff. It's like, if you get start fighting like that, it's hard to just kind of go, all right, I'm going to convert the Malley fighting style into a coherent pocket defense approach. So, like, you could see, like, Garbrandt and Malley just ending up being swings to the death and, like, pay for Garbrandt and swing to the death against a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I do think there's some question mark like I don't know, maybe if someone like pretty good takes O'Malley later in the fight, like I do think there's some questions there. It's just Garbrandt doesn't really I don't know, like, I'm just not as impressed by him, but I mean, we'll talk about it in a second. I just
Yeah.
feel like even in round 2 I mean, we'll talk about it in a second, but in round 2 against the Sensao, I felt like he was maybe gonna lose that round until he kinda got that half knockdown with, like, a minute left, and then obviously he killed him. But I just feel like he's so KO dependent, and I just trust kind of the longer guy who at least seems to have good like, good vision out there to just I don't know, not get knocked out at a high clip type of thing, and honestly, like, I think O'Malley may have a higher chance to knock out Cody, to be real, because at least he's super accurate, like, you can say what you want, but he lands at, like, a 57% clip, and, he doesn't hit as hard as Garbrandt, but at least he's precise, and Garbrandt his chin might get a little too much shit, but I don't think it's a good chin, you know? Um So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Fair enough.
I would I heavily favor O'Malley as a round winner, but I mean I could be wrong, but um there's obviously like striking eyes you have to see in fights, but even like Magny and Martin, which we can kind of go into. Is that the next fight we can kind of go into now? I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
Magny just, I mean, with just kind of like the volume edge, won the fight. You know?
Yeah. Like, I honestly I only saw the third round of Magny Martin. So, like, I just saw Magny whooping his ass because Magny is the GOAT.
Yeah,
Um, Actually, I don't actually like this iteration of Magny. I think he might have issues with just like the athletic ceiling, but yeah, if Magny can somehow make a title run, I'd be so happy.
yeah. I kind of thought Martin won the first 2 rounds. Like, I thought round 1 was like 50-50 actually, but I think I might have favored Martin because he kind of I feel like he got some clinch control time, but it was a real close round. But I was really surprised. Like multiple, didn't 2 judges give, or 1 judge maybe give Magny all 3 rounds? Like round 2, I was kind of shocked. I thought that was Martin's round, but it was still a close
Yeah,
fight. Yeah,
yeah, 2 rounds go over to Magny, 30-27. Yeah,
yeah, that's
it
weird.
was kind of one of those ones where it was like 250, 55, 45 rounds and one very clear round. So I felt like Magny probably should have gotten it regardless.
Yeah, after the fight, I figured Magny. Like if there was a live betting line going into the decision, I would have picked Magny just because when you have 100% round, I mean, round 3 was as clear as you can get for a 10-9. I feel when you have that in 2 close rounds, you're going to get the decision like 70% of the time.
Yeah, it's just that extra 30% which kills you.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah, actually, I do like this just around. I like both these guys. Like Martin, I think he's a fairly well put together fighter.
yeah,
Magny, I think his cardio volume Magny actually might be interesting going forward.
yeah,
Like, yeah, there's definitely winnable spots in even top 10 or so for him. Like, I mean, welterweight's got a bunch of people who probably shouldn't be in the top 10 who are just hanging in there. But like, yeah, I'd take Magny over this version of Magny over current Lawler, Pettis, Diaz, RDA,
Woodley.
um, even Luke possibly. Honestly, like Luke
Yeah.
against what's his name? Luke's last fight he did not look good.
Against Price. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked fucking awful, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't good. And even Price was landing volume on him, you know?
Yeah, like Price was out hustling him pretty easily. Chiesa Magny might be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, like, just like a pretty mean fight. They're both huge for the weight division. Magny probably has a striking edge, but Chiesa tends to just kind of throw himself at people. I don't know.
One thing I think we kind of learned about Martin, because if you look at Martin's stats, he's like a 2.7 guy, meaning he like lands and absorbs like around kind of a, he doesn't land that much and he doesn't absorb that much either. So there's not like a ton going on in his fights as far as volume goes, but he faded pretty hard. So he was faded. I understand if you get out hustled by Magny, but he was really tired to the point where if it was a 5-rounder, Magny could have maybe even finished him type of thing. And I feel like we just learned something about Martin that I never knew, is that maybe his cardio is not that great. And that's why he doesn't have like high paced fights and kind of paces himself. I could be wrong there, but that was something that at least I'll be thinking about next time I tape Martin going forward. But I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
I feel like Martin's had reasonable cardio historically. Like at lightweight, it was an issue, but that was a massive cut.
I agree, but the thing is, like, if you're only absorbing 2.7 strikes, that means like his opponents are kind of not pushing a pace either, type of thing. So like this was kind of, I mean, I feel like this was one of the first fights I've seen him actually kind of get a pace pushed on him. But I mean, at welterweight, I guess not a ton of people push paces, but I don't know. It was just something I kind of thought of.
Yeah, just looking at his history of fights, it's been fairly low tempo just all around. Like Emiv doesn't do that much. Sergio Moraes, corpse. Matthews gassed pretty quickly. LaFleur, yeah.
And then Nakamura, you know what I mean? Like I just don't see any high volume fighters at all in his record. And Magny was really the first one. And so that was the main thing that jumped out to me, because I went and looked at his record after the fight, and it was something I was like, I'm going to keep in mind going forward if he goes against another guy who can push a pace or something, because all his fights have been pretty low volume.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Martin, no scorecards at like I think minus 110ish. After the gas out, probably don't feel as strongly about that as I did originally. But like in the first 2 rounds, I think that was justified. Like Martin probably did the most damage.
Yeah. I don't think you could have totally known how hard he was going to gas. I mean, like you could have maybe pointed out the volume thing, but you still don't know if he would gas. You know, like maybe if there's a higher volume fight, maybe he's just fine type of thing. But it ended up turning out that he's not.
Yeah, pretty much my view. Like, it's always a mystery, and also coronavirus. I think I'll give somebody a little bit more credit for gassing in coronavirus times.
Yeah, for sure. Just with like the training and volatility and shit like that. But yeah, kind of pivoting on to the people's main event, Sterling and Sandhagen. Oh no, like I was on Sterling, and even when I win a bet that ends, because like I don't know, like anytime a fight ends early, if I'm on the other guy or if I won or lost on it, I always say I would like to see more of a sample size to really know what would happen. I do think a result like this, getting a back take and getting a sub, is more of a repeatable outcome than like a Heinisch KO or Meerschaert or something. I don't know if you would agree with that, but I just feel like at least there's like a process to it, because you got the clinch, got the back take, you know, held the back take, got the choke type of thing, where Heinisch just kind of like landed a big shot and Meerschaert died. But I don't know. I guess I would want to see a little more, but I do think there is at least some process to the finish. But I would still want to see the fight play out a little more.
Yeah, I'd broadly agree with that. I leaned Sterling a bit. I played less than you did, but probably about a unit and a half, 2 units or something like that.
Yeah.
I just felt like a competitive striking match, and Sterling would dominate or would just have the grappling edge. Didn't necessarily picture him subbing him in 90 seconds, but like I just imagined Sterling would win the grappling exchanges.
I did picture him getting the back. Like that exact sequence, I pictured him. I just didn't know if a finish would come out of it, type of thing. And Yeah, like the way I saw it is like you said, it's just Sandhagen's gonna win like a probably very highly contested striking fight for 15 minutes, and he might not even win that. And Sterling has other ways to win, you know. So it's just that's the way I saw it. But I'd still want to see the fight play out more, but I tend to think there's some value on Sterling, you know.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, yeah, I'm not. You didn't really get enough about Scram Sterling was like truly minus 500 or something, but yeah, I still stand by the logic I took into it.
Yeah,
Um,
and at least you could say Sandhagen wouldn't do what happened to him to Sterling, you know. Like he's not going to clench up Sterling, get his back, and choke him out. Like it would be very shocking if that happened. Or this wasn't that shocking.
just thinking in hindsight, it was randomly just going off the tangent. Like, I played Mirage over Sterling pretty hard back in the day. I feel like I probably got lucky there.
Oh, for sure you did. Yeah. Like I mean, Sterling's made a massive improvement since, but in hindsight, you definitely probably got lucky, right?
Yeah, like that was after the Barrow performance where Sterling had kind of shown the cardio starting to shift.
Yeah. Like he's improved since then for sure. But yeah.
Like, Mirage is always live to kill anybody inside a round because, yeah, Mirage is just very dangerous. But
Yeah, he's really dangerous for a run.
But yeah, he's dangerous for a round. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in hindsight, probably not the best spot in that, but well, we live and learn.
Yeah. I mean, shit happens, and we couldn't have known. I mean, Sterling made a significant leap since then too. Um,
Yeah,
but
like,
I was pumped. I was pumped for Aljo though. Like, I mean, I feel like not even from a betting point of view, just someone who deserves a title shot. It's kind of him. Like he's had some tough matchups, and he's kind of dominated everybody in his last 5 fights.
yeah, just looking at his resume, he's probably had the most of the sort of top 50. But he had the most top 15 matchups in the division. Like 1, 2,
He's
3,
probably
4, 5, 6. And yeah, even the non, like, yeah, even the guys who aren't currently top 15, they're still like relevant names at the time.
yeah. Like all 5 guys are. I mean, maybe not John's, but John's is still, like a gatekeeper to the top 10 to 15, I would say. And then I mean the other 4 are all like around top 10 fighters, and he pretty much dominated all of them. So
Yeah,
um
like
yeah,
even
like
like
he's been around forever too. Just like it's never really been dominated in a fight. He's lost 2 splits, and then he got kind of, you know, knocked out against Moraes in a fight that he probably would have won if it went to decision, type of thing.
yeah, well, like even looking at his like, yeah, losing to Sunsao and Caraway in those years is still, they're still perfectly fine losses by split. Like those top 10 guys at the time.
Yeah,
And even Han Barao, like, Han Barao, many issues with him later on, but he can still fucking grapple. Like,
yeah,
Barao actually beat Sterling the grappling in round 1, if I remember correctly.
yeah. Barao is a really good grappler for a round, especially in his prime. It's just he kind of became very shot and couldn't fight for more than 5 minutes.
Ah, well, we all do that, everyone. I've
um,
been like that for years.
yeah, Sterling Jan will be interesting. I lean Sterling. Like I think I favor Sterling in a 3-rounder. I would favor him very heavily. I do think in a 5-rounder, shit could get a little interesting. Because I mean, I got to look at the grappling and stuff. That there's just a lot I need to look into in that fight. But I do feel like Jan's like pace and come forwardness could maybe give some issues to Aljo later in the fight. But I do think Aljo will get off to a very big lead early.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Jan takes like 8 minutes to get his shit together. So, yeah, I could easily see like Jan's probably going to give away around for no good reason.
He'll give away the first couple rounds probably just on kicks, and even if Aljo doesn't get the grappling going, I just feel like Aljo will use those kicks and kind of his like lateral movement and just awkwardness and probably get the first couple rounds easily. It's just like, can Jan make a comeback later type of thing.
Jan will Kunchenko himself.
Yeah, yeah. I just
I don't know, you could just see this thing where Jan just like Sterling just kind of like out hustles the first 2 rounds, then like Jan like dominates later rounds, and then gets caught in a takedown for a bit, and like that's all that kind of deal. The classic Kunchenko performance.
I wish they fought in a 3-rounder because what's that line going to be? Like, is Jan going to be the favorite? I mean, I guess if he knocks out Aldo or something, probably, but I wonder what that line's going to be.
Yeah, good question, actually. Like, I feel like the market might lean Jan just because I feel like he's had a bit more hype lately. Like, Sterling's had a good run, but he's been pretty much evens in every fight.
And for Sterling's historically underrated by the market, and Jan is like we haven't seen him lose in the UFC or anything. Like he does have a loss like back in the day to it's to Magomed, right?
That draw? Oh, did he have a loss? Yeah, he had a loss. Yes, the split decision. There was that Jinsu Sun fight. That's a historical funny fight.
Yeah. Any listener who just wants to go see like those Magomedov fights that he had in ACB were a lot of fun. I think they're like 2016, 2017. I think he lost. I think he won the rematch. I can't totally remember, but
yeah, he won the rematch. Also, good fight to watch. Jinsu Sun versus PDR. That's just hilarious fun.
Oh
Just
yeah,
like Jinsu Sun comes in like a day's notice. He's like plus 900, and he fucking brings it to PDR more than anybody else has.
Yeah. I just think Aljo's hard to kind of land on, and I think Aljo will get off to like a 2-round lead. Almost, I'll probably honestly play Aljo and just hedge off if I feel like I need to because I don't. I just think he's going to win the first couple rounds, but I don't know. That would be a very fun fight. Like I'm looking forward to just taping it in general too.
Like, even just thinking, like, that Jinsu Sun fight, Jinsu Sun kind of takes the first round just off being big, clinchy, and aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
just broadly.
Yeah.
I know, onto Garbrandt versus the Corpse of Sunsao.
Yeah, see, I love this result. I had mentioned like I've played against Cody in his last 3 fights. Like I played Dillashaw against him both times, and I played Munoz against him. And I mentioned in my breakdown, like once I had taped, I actually thought this was like I thought this was a good matchup for him, and I thought he was probably going to win, but I wasn't willing to play him because I think he's just still too knockdown and KO dependent, and that's not something I like to rely on. And I like that he like I don't know. I feel like I'm going to start getting like a reputation with him on hating him like I do with Woodley's skill set, but it's just I don't like KO dependent and knockdown dependent fighters. And I will say I like that he added in the leg kicks to his game. I thought that was good, in the first round. But he only landed 19 strikes in the fight. So it's kind of like I just feel like there's some guys in the division, especially guys who have like longer range, even like an O'Malley or Sandhagen, that if he doesn't knock him out, I just feel like he's going to lose. And even in round 2, I kind of thought until that half knockdown that happened kind of like with a minute left in the second round, I just feel like Asensio may have, I mean, Garbrandt still could have gotten the round, but I just felt like it was contested for no reason, simply because Cody has volume issues, And I mean, it was a great knockout. Like, it was a cool knockout. But if that really doesn't happen, I don't know. I just don't think it's a good thing to rely on. But I mean, we'll see what matchups he gets going forward.
Yeah, because, like, honestly, it was on pace to be like a 35-30 striking decision.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Putting the knockdown to the side.
Yeah, like I do think even without the I'll defend Cody. I think even without the knockdowns, I do think he was landing the harder shots. So I think that matters. But I think there's just going to come a point where someone's landing more than him, like a lot more. And if he doesn't get knockdowns, he's going to lose the rounds. And like I don't know, he just didn't. I just felt like there wasn't much going on in the fight, and I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion. I know, and I love it. Like I'm going to target against Cody in the right matchups going forward. Like I feel like he'll probably be a favorite against someone who I think should be minus 200 type of thing, and we'll see what happens. Assunção doesn't really push a pace or anything, so I didn't think this was like the time to go after him again. Where I felt like Munoz was just going to push a pace, and he was going to land. And even though Munoz is pretty hittable himself, I trusted his chin type of thing. That was kind of my reasoning on that matchup. But I mean, we'll see going forward.
Yeah, I just played ends by KO for this. Was like plus 100. I probably got a bit lucky on that, to be honest. Like it wasn't like Munoz Garbrandt. Like Munoz Garbrandt, KO was inevitable. Here it was just kind of a low volume striking match, which ended by KO.
Yeah.
Santa even just. I'm kind of agnostic on Garbrandt. Like I think I think I probably respect his swing to left abilities a bit more than you do, but I also do respect he doesn't do much to win rounds.
Yeah. Like I respect his pop. Like I'm not saying that, and I think like I'm gonna really have to trust the durability of a fighter to play him again. Like which I did on Munoz. Like Munoz is kind of the perfect guy for him. I feel just because Munoz always lands. He's gonna push a pace, and he's got a good chin. But yeah.
Also, I think like Sandhagen versus Garbrandt. Like Sandhagen would do like 4 times as much as Garbrandt, and like Garbrandt could get the KO, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like if he doesn't, I don't think he wins. And that there's a massive reach advantage there. Like I think Sandhagen would be a guy I would play over Garbrandt. And what do you think that line would be? I mean, it would be at least even, right?
If that got just announced in 8 weeks, yeah, I think Garbrandt would probably be favourite. Like Sandhagen's coming off a humiliating, definitive 90-second submission loss, and Garbrandt's coming off a massive, dominant second round knockout.
Yeah.
Like you know how the market, we know how the market is.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like a matchup like that is someone who I would play over him. And I don't know, I could be wrong. Like maybe Garbrandt just if somebody pushes a pace, maybe he can just counter them and land some big shots consistently throughout a fight. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of like my read right now, and at least it worked on those Dillashaw fights and Munoz, so we'll see.
Yeah, agreed. Like, I've mostly just played ends by KO and ends by KO 1 and Garbrandt fights, so
yeah,
it works.
Yeah. Nunez just executed Spencer. I don't think we really need to go into this.
Fuck Nunez. I wanted to abuse Nunez. I played round 1 and like I bet 365 had submission round 1 Nunez at plus 6,600.
Yeah.
So I was just like, like fuck Spencer. Spencer didn't go as aggro as she has in the past, which I think I was expecting Spencer to approach Nunez like she did Cyborg, which probably kind of forces Nunez to finish her.
Yeah.
But like Spencer just kind of went off like a minute. Spencer was like, "All right, I'll do a bit, but I'm not really here to win. I'm just here to exist." And for fuck's sake, just take it dive if once you're at that point, just get tapped out in the first round and make me money. But my view on Nunez is just like there is either a round 1 finish or there is fuck all.
Yeah, it's funny. You know what, like this fight made me think of, how like everyone talks about corner stoppages and stuff? And like, should they stop a fight? Like, cause I think it was even though it's not like she died or anything in the later rounds, I just felt like after round 3 or 4, it's like, why, like, what's the point? Like, it kind of made me think, I feel like statisticians should almost be the ones who stop fights. Like I know that's never going to happen, but at least they can actually put a percentage, like the books. They pretty much were saying after round 4 that there was like a less than 1% chance for Spencer to win, and I feel like that I trust like a statistician. I mean, I guess you have to have some doctor advice as well. Just looking at some type of cut or something. But I just feel like I trust a statistician way more than a corner,
Yeah. It's dominant grappling performances where somebody might not be in danger, but there's still like no chance of them winning.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously you'd have to scale it for the right type of fights, but I just feel like in a striking type of fight where you're taking a lot of damage and you pretty much have like less than a 2% chance to win, it's like, why send them out there again? Like grappling or something, maybe it could be different. Or if you had like a high, like a decent, your win condition was some type of finish, like I guess, but I mean, we didn't really have that here.
But like, would you argue, say, who pushed them in corner stopped against Caceres?
No,
I felt like after 10 minutes, we kind of figured out the takedown was going to happen.
I mean, in like our world, no. Like I would think like probably not. But I mean, in like just like a more ideal world, I don't think it's like the worst thing to do. like, I guess there has to be a little more punishment, but I do think there should be spots where we stop it sooner, and like this was definitely one of them. But and I just don't see the point of like even Hooper. It's like he was taking a lot of damage. And he's what is he? How old is that kid? That's
12.
it's yeah. It's not good to be getting punched that young. Just I don't. I just feel like it's almost like unnecessary damage. I don't know. Like people are probably going to be calling me a pussy in the comments, but I'm just thinking about it. Just if you think about it from the fighters, you really need to just preserve your body to make more money later because it's not just it's almost like an investment in yourself. You just need like you don't want like a damaged car in a race later type thing, and you can just kind of make more future earnings later. I'm just thinking of it as like a career preservation thing and a way to win more fights later. But
Yep.
there's never going to be a
Like,
system like that. I'm just saying I think it would be helpful,
like if you remember Nunes was Pennington, there's probably a stronger argument for a doctor stoppage there.
Yeah.
Like Pennington's eye exploded and like she was fucked him out.
Yeah, like a fight like that where there's like a lot of punishment. Like maybe if you like maybe like a more objective way you could do it is like you could look at there's less than like a 2% chance to win and you've absorbed a certain amount of strikes type of thing. Maybe that's where it could come in because then that can mean the grappling fights that you don't really need to stop. They're not taking much damage, can kind of keep going. But I don't know. I mean, it's better than the system now. The system now is a fucking shit show. It's just kind of like dumb refs and dumb corners letting shit go way too long.
Yeah, particularly since I tend to be playing more unders than overs. I'll just bet because most of the time I've had so many bets where somebody's just getting absolutely fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, my under has now survived 3 knockdowns.
Yeah, if
anyway,
you think about
maybe a tick.
Yeah, and just to add one more point, and then we can move on to this next card. I feel like we've recapped way too long, but if you look at boxing, that fight would have been stopped for sure. Like especially going into round 5, like boxing, you have a much shorter leash.
Yeah, sure, but
yeah, I don't know. Let's go on to the next card. This card's a fucking shit show. I have not taped this first fight, Ivy and Aguilera. You've been talking about it a little bit. What's up on it?
As the world's foremost shit showologist, Anthony Ivy is like Kevin Holland without the real spark of God. And Christian Aguilera is not great, but like, it's just not. If I had tape of Aguilera like actually grappling, because like he doesn't seem to really grapple. Like he just comes at people swinging at them, and occasionally gets back controlled. Like there's just very little. There's like little tape of him like escaping positions, whether he has a guard, how he defends takedowns. He just seems to get clinch back controlled a lot.
Yeah,
but like in this sort of level of shit fight, like Aguilera's process where he just kind of comes forward throwing bombs could be a bit more consistent than Ivy's sort of process.
Yeah.
Even something like not Ivy inside distance. Like again, questions like how good Aguilera's grappling defense is. Because like Ivy's not like that clinical a grappler, and like it's just Aguilera hasn't been subbed. It's just hard to really say.
Yeah, I mean, I have no way of helping you in this conversation just because I have to tape. So they're just both debutantes, right?
Yeah, like Ivy got signed to fight Mearshart last week whilst Harnish was out for like 24 hours.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And then Christian Aguilera just appeared out of nowhere. Aguilera just comes forward swinging bombs. Like I kind of like, at least Aguilera's process isn't what I'd call like proper process, but at least come forward swinging bombs. You know where he's at at all times.
Yeah.
He's coming forward swinging bombs. It's I respect that when I'm betting. Because like it's like I bet Jeremy Stevens a lot because I know at any point in the fight where's Jeremy Stevens going to be.
Swinging bombs.
Exactly. So I can plan around it very easily.
Yeah.
So like Christian Aguilera, like, but even then like regional power can be kind of it's just a bunch of unknowns here.
Yeah, for sure.
I might take Ivy decision just because, but even then, like I just want to get some more tape for Aguilera's grappling. I could see a situation where Ivy just kind of gets takedowns but isn't quite dominant enough grappler to get subs at like this sort of level.
Yeah.
But also, Ivy sub could just be like minus 500 in hindsight. It's just very little informative tape.
Yeah, like I'll tape it and kind of tweet out my thoughts or something. I just haven't yet. But Griffin and Minner, I feel like um it's interesting because I watched the first fight and Minner obviously had like a lot of success, but the thing is, if I just feel like this fight's gonna end in a finish, and I just like Minner just collapses and is really easy to finish, where at least Griffin will like not just lay over and die type of thing. So I just kind of feel like I trust Griffin to survive more, so I do favor him. But like this is still a mess, you know?
I also kind of feel like you're gonna have to like Minna will collapse, and like Griffin will only need one sub attempt,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Griffin will have to survive 4 sub attempts to get there.
yeah. I
So it's like, yeah, it's a I got on Minna plus like 250 pretty fucking hard because I think they just must have wiki capped the first fight. And I was like, this line's get crunched, so I might as well take. I'm probably gonna up it off. But yeah, it's just like I kind of blame Minna just because I feel like he should at least be the one coming off first.
yeah.
Like I feel like Minna will at least get his 3 sub attempts in before collapsing hilariously, while Griffin kind of has to wait for that collapse. Like, you know, Griffin is just meme on so many levels.
Yeah, he generally avoids subs well though, you know? So I just the fact that he can probably survive that early storm means he should probably win the fight. Like it's not something I want to play or anything. This is some like high variant stupid shit. But I just kind of trust him to survive and then eventually get the W. But I mean, who the fuck knows? This is going to be chaos.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree with that. Like, Minna plus 250, I'll take as a coin flip. But again, I don't want to be sitting there sweating this result.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. But the next fight isn't it going to be Nam versus some kickboxer now?
Yeah, what's his name again? Give me a second. He's like 3-1. He's like 3-1. He's got a supposed kickboxing background, but like if you just look at the names of the kickboxing places he's been at, it's like one time in the Glory undercard and just a bunch of very strange sort of like quasi martial art things.
Yeah. Does he? Yeah. I mean, there's another one I'd say. So sorry to the listeners. It's just kind of like these just really good announced, but I mean, I don't like that Nam's like super low volume just in general, but I don't really trust kind of debuting kickboxer either, you know. But is there a line? Is there a line available?
I think there is. I've yet to see one. It's still off in best fight odds. Nam's got a decent amount of size and reach on him by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, like if I'm just looking at Adashev's supposed credentials, I'm pretty sure he wrote his own Wikipedia page. Again, none of these things mean anything. It's just like champion of Asian hand-to-hand combat, champion of national hand-to-hand combat, champion of Central Asian hand-to-hand combat,
Yeah.
black belt in Nippon Kempo Kyokai. His first competition was when he was 6 years old. He got 3rd place in his first competition. So yeah, he's listing his 6-year-old kickboxing record in huh? So I'm just reading his Wikipedia page, and there's some strange inconsistencies there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll take it and look into it. I feel like there's nothing else we can add right now. But Avila and Mazany, I feel like Avila should just smash her.
Yeah, pretty much. Avila's got surprising power for her. She doesn't really swing that hard, but just like reaction, like it just made me last time she fought. I was just watching her, and like she just seems to hit people very hard.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously she hits pretty hard, and she's skilled too. Like maybe Mazany can get some type of like clinching and wrestling going, but probably not, right? Like she'll probably just get fucked up.
Most likely, like yeah, it's a bit. It's plus 400 is always kind of a bit. Come on,
Yeah.
but yeah, Via should beat her. Via seems pretty well rounded. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Mazani's losses aren't even that bad. Like Jason, Landsberg, McMahon.
Yeah,
Um,
at least she got like a decent amount of takedowns against that Wu Yanan girl, and at least she tries to like hustle for kind of clinch attempts, but still like Avila just seems kind of like good enough to where she could just defend that and just fuck her up, type of thing. So
Yeah, pretty much. And Avila, like, it's weird. She doesn't look like she has much power, but she just seems to really hurt women. So yeah.
Ken's not bad, and Avila fucked her up. I mean, and hurt her multiple times.
Yeah, again, like, you're just watching. Like, I did love typing the VF accounts. I haven't done it again at this point, but I just remember like watching it and being like, it just visually, she doesn't seem to be hitting that hard, but just based on people's reactions, she just seems to hit very hard, which is solid.
Does she have she's like a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Does she actually have like any accomplishments? I'm looking at that a little more.
Not from memory. She beat
Like,
Nico
on the mat.
Weird career, like, 2012 she beats Marin Renault, then comes back and beats Negro Matano, then just kind of retires from it.
Yeah. Interesting to see her going forward. Yeah, I mean, I feel like she should win here. I feel like if you want to play her, maybe play her ITD line, like rather than a minus 500 type of thing. But I don't know, is what it is. Rosa and Aguilar. This is a weird fight because I feel like we'll probably get a striking fight, and that's something Rosa. Even though like Rosa's last two losses were kind of grappling based, and I actually think Aguilar is a pretty decent wrestler and can hold top position. It's just he doesn't do it that often, Because even against Ige, remember he was like holding Ige down and like reversing and shit. But I feel like in a striking fight, it will probably be pretty competitive, right?
I mean, Bermudez did lose to Rosa. He shouldn't have, but that he did. Rosa did actually win that fight. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm talking about more process. Like, I know he ended up getting the triangle or whatever the fuck it was, but
glorious armbar for Stone Cold Lock.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Rosa's cut this Mimi Theodoro kickboxing game.
Yeah,
I could just see this being a split decision. That's stupid, right? I don't mind the GTD at like minus 200-ish because like I just don't see how Aguilar's got some pop, but I don't think he's got massive pop.
Yeah.
Rosa's pretty tough, and I could just see it becoming Elias Theodoro for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Even likewise, what was Rosa's decision plus 400 almost, but. Yeah, just should kind of be me. Like Aguilar's probably got a bit more process, but probably might be a bit low volume and might not be able to kind of track down the Theodoran.
Yeah, if anyone out grapples anyone, it will probably be Aguilar with the top position. But yeah, on the feet, it's kind of Aguilar probably hits a little harder. And I don't know, like Ike has come to be a pretty good striker, and Aguilar was at least having like a lot of success in round two, even though he got out volumed. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like a scrappy, probably somewhat competitive fight.
Yeah, like my view of the Rosa decision, just like my plus 400 for what I feel like. Yeah, I feel like the over's a bit undervalued, and I just feel like Rosa should be more competitive than that.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like you're just getting a split decision here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too interested in the fight, and then we can just move on. This card is so bad. Agapova and Cifers. Agapova's like a pretty heavy favorite, isn't she?
Yeah, well, she's got a massive size advantage.
Yeah,
and she's pretty functional striking. Like I did some decent taping though for her last matchup because I remember thinking her fight against Gato was going to be her getting guard subs at the stupid rate, so she seems very guard subbable.
Yeah, she like Cifers isn't a bad striker. And we'll probably get that. I don't know. I'm not interested in playing a minus 240, in a women's striking fight either. But I'll look into her striking a little more.
Yeah, minus 240 on debutants in the women's striking fight. It's a bit steep, but it's an 8-inch reach advantage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like Agapova should take it. Like, she seems reasonable striking the film I did. But, I don't think you should be playing at that sort of price.
Yeah. I want to tape it a little more. I don't like even Cifers against Hill in the first round, and Hill's a pretty functional striker, was actually pretty competitive on the feet. Like I think Hill won it, but until the takedown in round two, she was hanging in there as far as like the stats go. So I would just be a little hesitant, you know? But yeah, I'll look into her striking a little more. I just remember her fight on the Contender Series. She got grapple fucked by Cortez, right?
Yeah, pretty emphatically.
Yeah.
Um,
God, these fights are terrible. It's like it's like I gotta look into some of these still, but um, I don't know. I'll look into that. Like I'm not like enthusiastic about either side really. Like
yeah, agreed.
reach and size does matter, but Espinosa and De La Rosa. Your thoughts here?
I kind of don't mind De La Rosa just because I trust his output and I trust his forward movement a bit more.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not saying he's a dominator or anything like that, but De La Rosa's never backed down from a fight. But like, I don't like using words like quitter, but just like Espinosa's last two fights have just looked a bit iffy. And even against Shelton, like Shelton had probably the better moments, he just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So like, if De La Rosa just commits to throwing 150 strikes, I think that could be enough to get the decision here.
Yeah, it's really the pressure, I think, could maybe because even when Shelton started moving forward kind of later in the fight, he started having success too. Um, yeah, like I think there could maybe be some value on De La Rosa here. I still think I'm not really high on either guy. Um, but yeah, if De La Rosa's like aggressive and stuff, he could probably put up some volume and maybe keep it close type of thing.
Yeah, like Espinosa's fight against Tuesday, his second Tuesday night contender fight, the one he won by third round knockout. Like his
Yeah.
boxing defense didn't look great. Shelton kind of had a bunch of success when Shelton felt like doing things.
Yeah, Shelton was so
Um,
active in that fight.
no, and also like Shelton generally, if Shelton felt like doing things, was a
Yeah,
pretty good fight. But he
yeah,
just didn't feel like doing things very often.
for sure.
Yeah, like I'm not married to it. Even like Rosa decision plus 320.
Yeah,
Like even the GTD here seems a bit like minus 200ish for the flyweight GTD. Like yeah, Rosa got knocked out in his last fight, but Espinosa's been subbed twice. But like Espinosa's been subbed by incredible grapplers.
yeah,
And yeah, Rosa and Piper went to war for fucking quite a bit.
yeah. It's kind of a yeah. I think this could probably be lined a little closer, but it's like kind of like I don't know. Um, I still just don't. I don't really trust either of their process, you know. So I don't really know what's going to happen here. But um, yeah, it's probably going to be like a split decision, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like I'm happy rolling the dice and sort of stuff. Like both Roses, I feel like just play the deck line because you're probably getting a decent amount of value on them.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think I'll obviously get dominated for you in two split decisions.
for sure. Moving on to the next four fights, which I actually feel like I can contribute a lot more on. The Fili and Jourdain. I I think Jourdain is a better shot here than maybe people are giving him credit for. I'm fine with Fili being a favorite, but just kind of like even kind of looking at the stats, Jourdain, like I just like I he landed a lot of strikes against who was it? The Korean Superboy? Was that his last fight?
Yeah, just that like sort of crazy war. Yeah,
Yeah, and then also against Desmond Green. Desmond Green actually is someone that I think is kind of underrated. He's never been outlanded at distance in a fight in his UFC career, and he even landed like guys like Josh Emmett at distance. And Jourdain only was outlanded at distance by him. It was super competitive, like 61-54. And so I just feel like Jourdain will be able to compete here, you know? Like I just feel like I I feel like Desmond Green would probably compete with Fili just as far as like statistically on the feet. And I don't know. That's kind of the way I see it. And like Fili can land like occasional double legs, but I don't trust him to really dominate with any grappling. And I just feel like I probably favor Fili. Like Fili's savvy and he's improved and everything, but I could just see this being like reasonably competitive. It's not a fight that I'm gonna like play or anything, but I do think I just don't think Fili's a lock, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, fair. It really depends how often Fili feels like grappling. Like Jourdain hasn't got much off his back.
Yeah.
The under 2.5. I was also kind of looking at the under 2.5 and tempted, but even then, it just comes down to how much Fili feels like grappling.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's like, I mean, I guess Fili does put up takedowns, you know.
But like actually, like this protracted, like top control off the takedowns, not necessarily his
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah.
like if I could trust it to stay standing, I probably would like play the under 2.5 because I think Jourdain's pretty good at manufacturing a finish. Not
Yeah.
necessarily not necessarily he's going to get the finish, just that he'll do his best to make sure somebody's getting finished.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like Fili a lot in this sort of this current form.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good for sure. Yeah. I'll look into the grappling a little more, but yeah, like that's honestly that's probably enough to just like give the edge to Fili. But yeah, like we'll see how it goes. Like not the strongest opinions here or anything. You kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, pretty much. It just comes down to how much Fili feels like grappling.
Yeah, pretty
In
much.
my view. Yeah.
Yeah. Merab and Borg. I think Merab will run through him personally. What do you think?
I think Merab's pretty solid to Merab things. I do think Borg's a bit more live than Kenny was.
Yeah.
I think Borg's cardio is better than Kenny. He's great. He's probably got more likely holding onto a back control or something like that if he gets it. Yeah, but still, just Merab should just kind of Merab him.
Yeah, I got on Merab's kind of like line in the -200s kind of early, you know, and then it got destroyed. Yeah, I just feel like the way I see it is Borg's not going to out grapple him. He's going to lose the takedown battle at a pretty high clip, and so it kind of just leaves him winning a distance kickboxing fight. And even though Borg shows good hands occasionally, he even against Simone, he got like he lost the distance striking numbers because he doesn't throw enough. You know, like if you could trust him to throw, he could maybe be a little liver here, but he never does, and that's just kind of a historic trend in his career. And also, Merab, a lot of people give kind of are like weird about Merab's top control, but and I remember going into that Kenny fight, some people I respect thought Kenny was live because they didn't think Merab could hold him down. But one of Merab's go-tos, and it's funny, like it's not one of those things where you kind of randomly call out one grappling sequence and it may not even come into play. He gets back standing back control with the clasped hands. I think I counted like I think he's done it. He's done it every fight, and in some fights he's gotten it like 4 to 5 times. And Ray Borg got stuck there against Simone multiple times, and Davala Merab's grip and just kind of like willingness and mindset to kind of keep it there in that standing back control position is a lot better than Simone's. And I feel like even if Merab can't just get guard laying here, I do think he will get tons of time just in that other position type of thing. And I just feel like I just feel like Borg has a really narrow win condition here.
Yeah, yeah, much agree with that. Yeah, I give a bit more credit than Kenny, but that still doesn't mean there's
Yeah.
yeah, it's just tricky for him.
At least he won't gas. That's the thing. Like he's got a good tank, so there may not be that huge 10-8 round for Merab type of thing. So I think that's kind of like the best argument for Borg. But I also think Kenny's a better I trust him to put up more volume, you know, on the feet, which I think he kind of did early in the fight against Merab. Where I don't even know if Borg will do that. Like he's got like he showed some good body shots against Simone, but Simone's also kind of a not that great of a striker statistically. And Merab doubled up Simone at distance, you know? Um, like Merab's
Yeah,
never been out distance struck in his career. Like people kind of make fun of his striking, but I don't know. I just defer to numbers in these situations, and he just he uses kind of footwork to stay out of the pocket more too, and just kind of like will jump in and out. Like I know he does some sloppy shit, but he makes it work. So
Yeah, pretty much. It should just only be yeah, I think Merab should just just kind of checkmate just Merab versus other grapplers.
Yeah.
Just yeah. That's fun amusing that Merab was gigantic favorite here when he was only like minus 160 against Kenny.
I know. Like, I mean, we were both heavy on him over Kenny, and it's just, it's funny because I, I wouldn't like. Yeah, you could have your opinions on Borg and Kenny, who has a better chance, but it should probably be somewhat similarly lined, you know. And the fact that it's minus 400 now means that the line now would probably be what, minus 400 against Kenny.
Yeah, pretty much. Like yeah, and also like I feel like yeah, pretty much. And even like Borg, like Kenny would probably randomly be a big favorite over Borg at this point too, which would become stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Market does strange things sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy how that shit happens, how, like, line movement changes from just one fight. But, Vettori and Roberson, I'm fine with Vettori being the favorite just because he probably has the grappling edge. I think the striking will be somewhat close. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
Don't
I think
see value in the current line, though.
at least once. I'm hoping I can get Vettori sub at like plus 900ish again. I remember I got it at one point, but I'm guessing he's probably not going to come back up at that price.
Yeah, because they probably learned from their mistake early.
Like, yeah, I think Roberson, he just doesn't have, he's not very functional off his back. And like, people are using his random sub wins as example of his grappling being better than this. But yeah,
Yeah.
Vettori should just grapple him.
Yeah, but he might not too, you know? So it could all like, so Roberson could conceivably win the fight if it stays standing. But if he, yeah, he's definitely got like the hustle and grappling edge though, Vittori.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's clearer path to picture, I guess. Maybe Roberson tends to be a bit low volume on the feet when he's there.
Yeah, at least he doesn't get hit a lot though, you know. But I do think it could be like a Martin situation where Vittori's pace and Magny's pace kind of maybe if you push a pace on Robertson, he gets hit a lot more type of thing, kind of like Martin was against Magny. So we'll see. But yeah, like I'm fine with Vittori's the rightful favorite, I feel. But Robertson's not an easy out though, especially if it stays on the feet. Um, but yeah, like I don't have strong opinions here.
Yeah, pretty much. Pick this price.
Yeah. Um, I and Calvillo. What are your thoughts here? The best main.
I was more functional a minute when Calvillo probably has like the I guess like dominance upside in the form of like a sub or something, but like I think I should just be more functional, just kind of outwork her for pretty much the fight.
Yeah, I kind of think the same thing. I think like Calvillo. I do expect her to probably get a takedown or two if this play. And I kind of think this is going to go the distance too. I think both girls are tough. I think both girls will be hard to knock out, and both girls will be hard to sub. You know, because even I, as a grappler, is actually like pretty decent. I mean, she went toe to toe with Juliana Lima on the mat. Um, and I think it's going to go the distance. And I just kind of see over 5 rounds, I do expect Calvillo to probably get a couple takedowns. So it really just matters like how long does she ride out top position and things like that. I think that's really going to matter because on the feet over the course of 5 rounds, I expect I to kind of pull away. I'm not saying she'll beat the brakes off Calvillo, but I do favor her there. You know. Um. Yeah. Like I kind of think I's going to win, but I don't think it's like a lock or anything.
Yeah, I think I like 49, 46ish, but like yeah, Calvillo could get a sub or could just like improve a bit more. Yeah, over 4.5 at like minus 180 is a bit tempting. Like, how does this finish apart from Calvillo sub?
Yeah, I mean, both girls are really tough too. You know, like
Yeah,
even Calvillo, like Marina Rodriguez is a good striker and kind of put it on Calvillo at times, and Cynthia still just like toughed through it. And Eyes, I mean, I know she got knocked out by Valentina, but Eyes like historically durable.
yeah, and like you can't really judge her for getting destroyed by that head kick.
Yeah, for
Like, that's
sure.
probably the hardest strike in the women's MMA history.
Yeah, and it was just like that was fucking insane.
Yeah,
Um,
like that kills people. Yeah, that kills the majority of people. It's like there's no
but
shame in getting knocked out by that.
that knocks out dudes, you know? Like, honestly, like, that was really fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, like,
I just can't bring myself to bet Eye either, you know? I just I still just kinda it's not like her style dominates rounds type of thing, but I do expect her to kinda, like, marginally win on the feet. I don't know.
pretty much my view too. Like, I do favour her. I got some plus 100. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say she's lock or anything like that, but I just feel like she just generally just kind of wins minutes, and I feel like in this sort in women's winning minutes should be able to express itself pretty consistently.
Yeah.
And also, it's kind of like it's next straw weight, and like it wasn't like Calvillo was a massive straw weight against the ex bantamweight,
Yeah.
which I think all kind of plays into a bit too.
Yeah, what is do you have a Eye wins by KO or decision line?
And not yet. We haven't got the sophisticated props yet.
Okay. Yeah,
Everything like
I don't play, like, a ton of props, but I feel like something like that, if you can get plus money on it, would probably be a better play, but who knows, you know? Um,
I'd say like I like 65, 30. I'd say like I 60, 40, but it'll just generally be just like a bit of a slog.
yeah. Yeah, I think 60/40 is probably fine. Like, -150, I think that's fair. Um, someone who I respect's on Eye, but I still like I feel like Cynthia could at least compete on the feet a little bit early, you know? But I definitely trust Eye kinda down the stretch on the feet more.
Yeah, even like something like Calvillo, like not Calvillo inside distance or something. Like I don't think she's that dominant a grappler. But
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah, for sure, and I I don't even think she hits hard enough to ever put Eye out, and Eye's very tough.
Yeah,
Um,
like the over 4.5 on this might be a spot. Like a -190 for a women's fight.
yeah,
Like I think it's pretty. It's like the finish here is pretty much a question of can Calvillo start an eye.
yeah, agreed.
Like now I say this, I will put a striking clinic on Calvillo and knock her out inside 6 minutes.
Oh, yeah, just puts some dangerous combinations together with her hands and just deads her inside one.
I think a spinning head kick with a flying knee or something like that. Just a truly dominant performance.
Yeah.
But like honestly, I don't usually play Tuesday overs, but how does this finish exactly?
Yeah, I mean, it's really Eye getting subbed, and I don't know, I like her. She even just kinda survived Valentina on the mat fine in that first round, and Valentina's like a dangerous passer. She does allow a lot of passes, though, I will say. Like, if you kinda just look historically, but she's gone against really good grapplers, to be fair. Um, yeah, but, like, I don't know, she should be fine. Like, I trust her to survive and not get subbed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Marina Rodriguez can do it for a round, then I can.
Yeah, and also so I think size advantage helps a bit with the grappling too.
Definitely.
Yeah, so like I'd lean eye, but fuck, I'm not gonna act like I'm raring to go here. Like eye's what 5'6", 66 inches. Caviar is 5'4", 64. So yeah,
She's a
small
little bigger,
size, small height difference.
which can matter, especially over 5 rounds.
Yeah, and like that Araujo performance pretty solid for my too.
Yeah, that was one I think we both, like, kinda thought first of all, like, Araujo inside the distance was, like, plus 150 or something. I was like, "What?" Um, that was a fight, like, I think we both kinda thought I was very live in.
But also, Araujo just kind of had a very strange hype train, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Like, she's not bad or anything, she just it's just Eye's a little underappreciated, I feel.
Yeah,
Um,
and like she was minus 210 against Irons. Like, come on.
yeah.
Like even
It's funny,
against Davis.
I respect Eye and Calvillo, and it's just kinda it's really a matter of how much top time and whatnot can Calvillo really hold, you know? Because I mean, if she the thing is, like, if she gets a couple takedowns and wins a round or 2 because of it, this fight's fucking close, you know? Because I don't think Eye's a guaranteed to win every round on the feet, you know? I do favor her there, but Calvillo generally is, like, a little better of a striker than people give her credit for, but, like, I should yeah. I don't know, I feel like I'm kinda ranting back and forth. I'm just kinda torn, and I think I favor Eye slightly, but it's nothing that I'm gonna play.
This is just like it's just like Ferguson Gage. It's just a very close fight
Yeah,
in all respects.
yeah.
And the
I,
Combat Sports world will be watching this weekend.
I
Like
mean, this is
honestly,
the
I would
crazy
honestly rather see Roberson Vettori as a main event.
I wanna see if I could pick any fight on this card to be 5 rounds, it'd be Merab and Borg because they both have good cardio, but I wanna see if Merab could actually attempt 40 takedowns in a fight.
Yeah, that'd be entertaining.
I
Yeah,
think he could get there. Yeah.
or something like I don't know, just some meme fight like Rosa Aguilera. If it were just Rosa just doing stupid big kicks for 25 minutes, I'd be amused.
We definitely need 5 rounds of Griffin and Minner, so we could make it that too.
So what, they're going to go to a win, then mate and start again, and do it till eventually got 25 minutes of fight.
How many finishes would we have if they just kept starting it over for 25 minutes? We'd probably have, like, 7 finishes.
I was thinking 4. Like, that's what I was thinking, like 6 minutes average.
I feel like it's one of those, the first 2 rounds, we might just get 1 finish, but then I feel like in, like, rounds 4 and 5, we'd get, like, 4 finishes per round, you know? Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I wanna see that. That would be fucking awesome.
sure. Even it make it just like no game, make it sub only grappling.
Yeah, but alright, I feel like we're kinda ranting at this point. I mean, this card's fucking awful, so I apologize to the listeners. We tried our best, I feel.
Yep. Credit to the listener who made it this far.
Yeah, this was fucking the worst podcast ever, but I mean, whatever. We just kinda we can only talk about what we're given.
Next week's actually pretty solid, Joe.
Yeah, that's a good card. There's a lot of good fights on it, I feel.
Like honestly, why don't we swap 2 of these dumpster fire fights for like fights next? Like, there's just looking at next week. There's like it's most of the fights I actually like want to watch.
Yeah, like, every fight, I mean, there's no, like there's probably not yeah, there's not, like, a killer fight, like we had, like, a few on UFC 250, but there's no bad fights here.
Yeah, honestly, like yeah, everything's just fairly interesting.
Yeah,
Like yeah, everything's pretty closely matched, divisionally relevant. Yeah,
we'll probably get another couple matchups too announced as well, and then but yeah, alright, let's end this shit. We're fucking awful right now, but, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk about that card next week.
yep. Thanks for listening. Catch you all.
See ya.